Okay, well, here's a source of grants that you probably never even thought about it, and that's using the internet for grants. See, this is what's happening, I think, in our society. Now it's becoming easier than ever to get money off the internet that you don't have to give back. I mean, it's crazy how this is happening, but nonprofits can use it too to do their projects. So many nonprofits. I've interviewed about 700, 800 people around the globe, that have used the crowdfunding and crowd sharing and the shared economy and peer-to-peer and all these new forms of financing in the world now, and the success rate is greater than anything else. I mean, now most of the people that do crowdfunding for projects, whatever, it's like a 50% success rate. Now that's great. I mean, competitive grants or 20% is a lot, and it's a numbers game, but this is new. It's also easier. There's so many better things about crowdfunding because it's growing. It's growing exponentially. Just a few years ago, it started at $6 billion. Now it's 40-something billion dollars every year they're giving out to just ideas and for-profit companies, non-profit companies, or whatever. And what's neat about it too is that minorities and women are becoming more successful at it than men are. Now, usually men rule the world, right? Because who gives out most of the money in the country? Men, right? Mostly the bankers and the venture capitalists and everything. They're all men. Like if you're an entrepreneur in this country and you want to find fat cats, well, 95% of the fat cats that give out money to grow a business or anything like that or start a business are men. So it's men that give out money, start business, 95. So 95% of the money goes to men. I mean, the data show this. I'm not making it up, or it's not a political statement. It's a statistic that 95% of the people given the money are men, and 95% of the people that get money are men. Now in crowdfunding, it's different. There was a study done by some professors up at the University of Pennsylvania, and they found out that 45% of the people who give money on the internet and crowdfunding are women. So that's like almost half. Half the people are women giving money, not only 5%. So women, as a result, are outperforming men in crowdfunding in every category. So they're getting more money than men are. And I assume, and that's what the study assumes, is because more women are giving the money. And I just think women are smarter. That's my whole life, it seemed to me that way. And so if you're a woman, you probably want to give it a woman. And so there's that emotionally. But I think women have an inside track on life. I don't know why men, even rich men, think they know what the world is all about. Oh, I'm rich, I must know what the world is all about. Nah, they're not smart. They're just rich for some reason. And it's, I think women have a more inside track about life is. They're the people doing all the stuff that is important in life, taking care of the kids, taking care of the parents when they get older, taking care of, I've been involved in the corrections system too. People coming out of jail, they're the people that are there at the front door 9 times out of 10 to help people who are incarcerated and everything. All this stuff is about women. So I think they know more about the good things in life, and I think because men rule everything, they think they're smart. Well, they're really not. Anyway, I'm sure it's not universal, but I think as a trend it is. Just because you run everything, you think you're smart. So that's why crowdfunding. You got to look at that as a nonprofit. I've talked to so many people who started their nonprofits like that. They get money, or they use crowdfunding to generate nonprofit for other people. Like this woman in Detroit. She was a kid going to school. Actually, her mom was on welfare, and she got a scholarship to art school. Every time she was going down the street to art school, she would pass these homeless people. This is Detroit in winter too. She said, these people, didn't have a place to sleep. They didn't have a good coat. So she said she was in design, and she designed a coat that could be used as a sleeping bag. So it was a big thing, with a hoodie and nice and comfy and everything. So it's a twofer, right? But to get that money now, she went on a crowdfunding campaign and got all of it. Now what she also does is with that, see with that, she didn't even have the coats yet. She had nothing yet. You don't even have to have anything. You just have to have an idea. And you go and ask for money. Yeah, people say, it's begging. Yes, everybody begs. That's what sales is. It's begging. So you want to call it begging, you call it whatever you want, but people are giving you money. And it's before you have it. So this woman had the money before she even had the coats or the idea or whatever. Just people trusted in her idea. And that's what happens in life. And that's what's so cool about life now. You get away from the middleman and the gatekeepers and all those people that think they're so smart or whatever. No, you go right to people. Hey, do you think it's idea? Yeah, I'll give you $50. And people are doing this without you even giving them anything. You know, or you don't have to give them anything till next year. I mean, I can't believe that. Like, to me, so many people do it for business. Like before they have their product, they'll say, "Hey, I want to build this thing. You know, if I get 100 people, give me $1,000 a piece, or $100 a piece, or $50 a piece, then I can go build it." So I mean, people are giving them money before they have the product, and 6 months later they get the product. You know. Why are people doing this? Would you ever go to Macy's and say, and Macy's said, well, we have a picture of a sweater here. You know, if you give me $50, you come back at the first of the year, I'll get your sweater. Nuts, I know. People are doing it. Yeah. So that's why it's exciting to me. Because you have a whole new way. Let me tell you, put some things down here about why it's cool. It's free. You don't have to do anything. There's no charge or anything. You only pay a small percentage, usually 5-10% of the money you get. You're not getting any money. They don't get any money. Nobody gets money, and nothing comes out of your pocket. No income requirements. They don't care, you know, you have a yacht in the Caribbean or you're living in a tent, you know, downtown. Doesn't matter, you know. There's no credit check. That's right. How many things that you know that are financial oriented there's a credit check? This is one. And this is where they're giving you money. They don't care about credit checks. Okay. And you keep the money forever. Okay, it's not a loan. There's nothing, no payback, no nothing, whatever. And what's it? You don't need lawyers, accountants. There's no complicated forms, no business plans, no accounting statements, no profit and loss statements. None of that stuff. You just describe, hey, there's a neat thing. I want to do it. Gosh, don't you think it's neat? And that's what you do. Also, it is fast. In 60 days, usually, it's all over, and you're counting the dough. If you don't get it, then you dream up another idea. You were wrong, and you learn from that, okay? And to me, one of the most important things is that it gets rid of the fat cats in the middle who think they know the answer. That's what always puzzled me, when starting businesses 30, 40 years ago, whatever, is that you had to, and you still do this to an extent, think of an idea and then sell it to a fat cat to give you money to produce the idea, okay? So really, your only customer was that fat cat. And he probably was never going to be a customer for your product. He's just a customer for you to get the money. So he wants you to, he doesn't know anything about it. He just thinks he's smart because he's got money, right? And so you have to please him and hire his girlfriend and all this kind of stuff just to go through all those hoops to get your project done. None of that, because it's the people who are going to use your product or appreciate what you're doing that is doing it. It's not some fat cat. And it's also a faster way to prove if you have a good idea or not. Then you could get on with your life and do something else, because you're going out there, the community is going to use the idea or whatever, will tell you if it's good or not. Some fat cat was probably not going to even use the idea. He just wants to make money off of you, right? So he's not really sure. And actually in venture capital, people who invest in other businesses, okay, they think they're so smart, because they have money and they'll tell you if your business is good or not, like Shark Tank. They're wrong 85% of the time. So all these venture capitalists who invest in people who want to start businesses and everything, these fat black cats who are so rich are wrong 80% of the time. Actually, it's like 85% of the time. Sometimes 90. It depends on whose data you have. So why do that? See, if you go to the end user, that's right. You want to know what the customer says, and not your relatives or venture capitalists or whatever. So it's better, faster way to prove your idea is great or not. So in 30, 60 days, you know if you got a winner or not. Okay, it's also the fastest, cheapest way to fail. And I'll cover that maybe more later. Because that's it. So you fail, you just go on to another one. Okay. Plus, it's the only place where you could get more money than you ask for. That's right. They give you more money than you ask for. That means if it's more people believe your idea, so maybe you need 10 grand to do something or whatever. And people say, oh, this is great, and all of a sudden you have 50 grand. Now, when was the last time you thought you could go to the bank and ask for 10 and, oh, no, don't take 10, here's 50. Yeah. This is what happens in crowdfunding. So it's one of the best things, I think, for the future. It's growing exponentially. Start learning how to use it. You know, people are using it for everything. I've interviewed people like ex-felons, couldn't get a job or whatever, but they went on crowdfunding and raised $17,000, to produce a CD because they were a singer, or they thought they were a singer. They had $17,000 to do it. Man, there was a fellow I read last night in Puerto Rico, a kid, 15 years old, no electricity, this is right after the hurricane. They had no electricity in Puerto Rico. And he's looking out the window and look at the sunshine there. God, if I had solar panels, I'd have electricity. He just raised in 3-4 days, he's up to $40,000 already. So he has solar panels for his neighbors and everybody. Wow, so that's not waiting for the government to do stuff. That's just doing stuff. That's what's so neat about crowdfunding. You can just do stuff. You don't have to wait for somebody to do stuff. You just start doing stuff.